A huge shout out to the Overthinkers. An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the Overthinkers. Shout out my friend too.
Thank you, Overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the Overthinkers. Tando Pena. Much love.
To my Overthinkers, mamelo kuchopumelo phume buyakhula nizi njani khokho yazini overthink.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it. I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Overachiever. That is what Coach Shorty said in the intro of the show. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Jose Mokwena. I'm your host, and this is a place where we love South African football. We love African football, and we also every now and then love European football. But the main focus is ourselves and our continent, and that is what we're here for. And this weekend was very good. We got to do both things, Africa and South Africa. But before I get there, guys, this show is on Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. You can join me here on TikTok and on YouTube. And if you want to watch any of the previous episodes, they are available in full on YouTube, so you can check them out that side. The only time this show won't be live at that time on those days is if Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Banyana, or Bafana are in action. And when those guys are in action, that is when we are going to be following them as well, showing our support to those teams. The show is very interactive, guys, so please feel free to jump in for those who are listening on YouTube and those who are new to the show. To jump in, you have to join me while I'm live right now on TikTok. You have to be following my TikTok account. And then when the time comes, I will open up. And when I open up, you'll be able to jump in and tell me exactly how you feel about the show live by pressing the multi-guest button at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to jump in and analyze the game with everybody. Now, today is a Monday, and on Mondays, we review what has happened over the weekend. And over the weekend, we got a glimpse of Taste of Africa, and we also got some Betway action for the big three teams that we follow. So Mamelodi Sundowns played. We had... He played versus AS FAR Rabat, that man, Nabi's old team. We had Orlando Pirates versus Ahly, the kings of African football. And then we had Polokwane City versus Kaizer Chiefs, which was a Betway game. And we're going to go in reverse order. We're going to start with Kaizer Chiefs. We're going to go on to Mamelodi Sundowns, and we'll end off with Orlando Pirates versus Ahly. I want you guys to jump in. You know that is what the show is for, and that is why I am here. Guys, Kupa 60k likes, man. Kupa 60k likes. So please tap the screen. It is free. It helps me rank. It helps a whole bunch of different things. So tap the screen. We're trying to get to 50,000 tonight. 50,000 likes tonight. And then also, let's romella di gift, man. Romella di gift. Okay. Let's get straight into what we're going to speak about today. Let me just pull up the right picture. Then we can get started. Okay, so yeah, but when it rains, it pours. Kaizer Chiefs played Polokwane City on Sunday, yesterday, and the game ended with a 2-0 win to Polokwane City. If we look at the stats, Polokwane City had 9 shots, 3 on target. Kaizer Chiefs had 17 shots with 2 on target. 66% of the possession went to Chiefs, whereas Polokwane City only got 34%. And then Kaizer Chiefs completed 544 passes versus Polokwane City's 279. But the game ended with Polokwane City scoring through Apolis in the 17th minute and Ramabu in the 90th minute to make sure that Polokwane City is now third in the league. 10 games played, 5 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. They've scored 10 goals. They've conceded 9, if I'm not mistaken, and then they've got 17 points. Whereas the Kaizer Chiefs is sitting number 9 right now, similar to where they finished last season. They've got 8 games played, 3 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. So I'm going to start us off. Because this is a team that's close to my heart. So we're going to do the 3 teams. Then in the last 30 minutes, I'll allow people who maybe couldn't come inside to the panels to have their chat at the end, where you can also voice your opinions. Hopefully, it's not too much of a therapy session. Okay. That first half was one of the worst first halves I've seen from this team. That first half was borderline embarrassing. You know, I see everything. I see experienced players. I see wanting to bring in quality. I see all of the chats that everybody's having. But when professional players can't complete a pass, guys, Polokwane City was literally just sitting in their formation, watching Kaizer Chiefs. And Kaizer Chiefs would literally give them the ball on a silver platter. And the questions I had been asking about this Chiefs team really came to the fore this time. If you watched the show over the past few weeks, I've spoken about how the attack had been covering Chiefs for a very long time. But this is a team that has conceded in every single Betway Premiership game. We are the only team in the league right now, with Kaizer Chiefs, who do not have a clean sheet to their name up to this point. When you look at Abu Makesi, Abu Cape Town City, Abu Royal AM, Abu Zbanbat, we are the only team right now. It's the only time in the PSL era where Kaizer Chiefs has had a start like this in terms of conceding goals. So I think that first half was so bad. In the second half, we improved, but it wasn't an improvement on the play. It was an improvement on the effort, which I think in the first half was one of the worst things that we saw. That the players were down, they were not up for the game, they didn't arrive, they weren't playing with anything. Even after they conceded in the 17th minute, you didn't see them come out and try and get some retribution, come and score and come and do something. It's only when Mfundo stepped onto the pitch, Mfundo specifically stepped onto that pitch, and he brought the energy that was missing from that starting lineup. And he gave us 45 minutes of effort. But like I said in previous episodes of this show, where Mfundo come in with all of that running and all of that stuff, they don't have a brain. When you take off Sirino, you miss out on the brain of the game, who then thinks about that. Now, I want to be fair to Chiefs and say they had their chances. They had their chances. Bashai Pale at some point, they took 17 shots, only 2 made it on target, but yeah. As Nebi says, he says it's all about finishing, right? But I also, before I open up, I want to give credit to Coach Pitso Mosimane and Polokwane City. This is not a flash in the pan. They're third for a reason. They did so well last season, and they're carrying on. And I think that answers the question about the quality, about all of the things that we speak about. Sometimes you just need a plan. Apolis's goal might have been what some people might call lucky. But when you look at that and you look at the last minutes, you see in the second half, he made a change to bring on Chauke. And I think the thought was that we were going to make them run in the second half, or we're going to take care of them when they come and attack us, we'll hit them on the counter. And the plan worked out in the 90th minute. And I know some people will be saying that, no, this is the time of this, and no, it's not like that and whatever. But at the end of the day, guys, the results are the results. And if we're sitting at the exact same place we were pretty much with Kevin Johnson, and I understand people are going to speak about time and all of that stuff. You could have kept Kevin Johnson then if you're looking for these type of results. You could have kept the same backline, you could have kept the same midfield, you could have kept everything the same and had these results. In fact, better, because this is a new thing for Kaizer Chiefs, especially with the conceding of those goals up to that point. So I'm starting, and I know I mentioned this last week, I'm starting to question Coach Nabi and say, Coach Nabi, we know you don't have quality. We know you don't have the tools and all of the stuff. We know about all of the weaknesses of Kaizer Chiefs. But plan on a game-to-game basis, plan. Can you come out and show us something? And if we lose to Polokwane, let us lose to those teams because they're playing us off the pitch or their tactics are better than ours. But don't let it be because we were out of it. And a lot of these players might sell him down the water. We don't know. But something needs to be done. And maybe now you need to try earn. And I'm not saying go and win the league. Nothing to do with going to win the league and doing all of those different things. But I don't think even at our worst of thinking at the squad, I don't think we are sitting number 9. I don't think there's 8 better teams in the league than the squad that we have on paper. So now we need to start showing what needs to be done. Okay, so let me open up. I just wanted to get a little bit off my chest. If you want to know about my full thoughts, it's available on full on YouTube. There you'll see all my thoughts and what I think about this stuff. But this show, like I said, is not about me. It's about you guys. And let me let in the panel, the first panel. We're going to do Chiefs first. We're going to go to Sundowns. Then we're going to end off with Orlando Pirates. And should we have time over, I will leave it open so that people can jump in. And man, tell me what they're thinking, whether you want to speak about Sundowns or Pirates, or you want to get something off of your chest in your Chiefs. Man, you are welcome to come back and jump in. Let me go to Bongs while I let everybody in. Bongs, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm okay, OT. When I was wrong, when I on your side.
Hey, Bongs, the guitaring, man. Guitaring. But it's fine. Bongs, tell me what you're thinking. You've got 5 minutes. Tell me, what are you thinking about this game, man?
This game, we are leadership Chiefs. So I get to January, before Rebalata Lebona Batuban. Retoflu Dabomang, in your opinion.
Ay, nakikigeni, Bongs, nakikigeni. Nakibata ko offload and nakibata ko bana ba coach team enan.
How can the player return the player as an quality for or compete? We can't compete because the player at Alentona had in a leadership, le backline Yarona, how na moto urban leadership. There's no Kune type of goalkeeper, Honang, or Mashila the defense. So Reskabara and Naga consider a lot of goals.
Bongs. Killing lata di player. Every transfer window le batla di player. Di player ya kena. Hona so long retraile totally. O mo le Mikel marara bona ore na le probleme mo le before ne le bomsimango re fitile ko bo Kwinika, re fitile ko bo Frostla, re fitile ko bo Mashiane, bo Hlanti, bo Tove. Jwale re tla lata di player until when?
Nike feel no, it's about leadership. Arena leadership. We've got the players, but arena leadership. Because the players from the club they no perform. But when they come to Kaizer Chiefs, they start not performing.
So then if
some of them
so then what's killing the leaders? Sorry, Bongs, what's killing the leaders? Because Ditlokwe is captain of Botswana, Msimango is captain of TS Galaxy. We've spoken about Martu, who's had the captaincy for a while. There's people all over there. Why then do they feel as though Habana leadership?
There's someone who has to be the leader in the team because you can't have two bulls in one kraal. Okay, I'm going to be the leader of the team and try and take control of what's going on in the field. Because there's no one who's taking control in the field. Everyone is doing his own thing. That's why Redulan Rebel did a mistake.
Mara 9 years ago, fella. Leader.
The past 9 years before reflected to this situation, I blame the fact that Aragabara replaced some quality players in the zone during Compella's time. If Kabiri and Tedral at that time, maybe Kabirisi in this situation at this moment.
Okay, Kupa Ubutsa then Bongs. Atazwani finished number 5. Kevin Johnson was around this place. What do we say about Coach Nabi?
Nabi chance but we also have to, the management also has to play its part. The quality players. We can't just rely on the MDC players because they need people who are experienced to Rabakhano.
Okay, Bongs.
I still question the fact that Batwatan and Lebo Shabalala have been there for so many years, Bantavali Chiefs, but Abatwan and Lebatwatan and Lere who only had 1 season and became a star.
Okay,
so
Bongs.
to develop our players to become better.
Okay, Bongs, let me bring in Prati. Prati, welcome to the show. How are you, Prati?
Yeah, bro,
Man kimunati Prati mplele o rweta lanko teaming. We want to join KB Maubani or Rinka team how.
Brauti e re ke buela gape ko ke ratla go dumarana le bong se a bua re tshwanetse re lebelele go development ke nagana go development kwa le gone re na le bothata because of ke nagana mo 9 years ne ara gore mo 9 years re ka palelwa ke go produce our own product maybe di defender like sometimes ra go lla re tshwanetse re ye ko market ka re reka di player ha re di reka di tlhadife ya kra no tshwanetse re nne le ntwe ba ibitsang as option B ba ke nagana gore le go development ra ko Chiefs tsumolotse go faila mo le go development ko like wa bona gona le the school of excellence tse le go di produce a lot of players the quality players tse re tshwanetse re le tsone re di lebelele but mara
kopa o botsa Prati before o feta mo kopa o botsa so then o reng ka taba gore le ha le ba producer ha ba dlale ke ba bozwane ke ba ke mang bo mfundo ke neng ba dutse benching ba tlo ikranning game time experience go kena ka bane ha re bua ka Mfukeng o na le team man a strong behind him o na le spine o na le ntho tseo kaofela ha jare team jwale rona re batla bo Mfundo re ba jare team kaofela
mo gone o ka tsole right bra OT because of le surrounding ke nagana gore surrounding ya rona ga e good for the young players tsa rona mangwa ba ngitutla a bua ntho engwe important le gore ra go motlhoya ntho yo mare ke nnete ke nagana gore re ka setse like gone anong re tlhoka like mole le mole quality remix le ka yone DDC go tswa go DDC because of if re ka re ra go tsaya di player tsa DDC maybe a ke re back four ya DDC yo tle re tla go tshamekisa mo selong go ra go nna le mathata re tlhoka gore re mixe mole le mole but ke nnete le one ka tswa account Brauti Mabane ke nagana gore Chiefs ya dlala sharp especially first half ya dlala sharp mme second half ya dlala sharp Chiefs like no yana the way dlala nga teng ke nagana gore lone e predictable bra OT o khona go bona ba tshameka ba combine it mare ba crossa thata sometimes o tshwanetse o khateine o tlhoka that brain especially mo middle field e gona go nagana wa bona so ke yone ntho e re bolanye me le tabang gona le pressure ko Kaizer Chiefs ke nagana gore pressure e ntsi ko Kaizer Chiefs ya defender le tsone tshwanetse di dire man di tlogela go hype di player tse dingwe like because of ha di player ya ka bo policy ba le go block city re ba hype re tsenya pressure mo management re he sign Chiefs ke nagana gore tshwanetse re di scouter tsa rona di le se go scoutela ke rona di defend le bone tshwanetse ba dire tiro ba re ke di player tse quality because of le tsone di scouter ranga ka di buela because of khale ba tsama ba go renkela bo Bimimi yang ba go renkela bo Lazarus Kambole so a bona gore Lazarus Kambole a ke dumele gore ba scoutile ke defensive ba scoutile ke go na le bothata go di scouting Chiefs ha e batla go siamane before re ka bua ka system or style of play tshwanetse re reke di player before because of no yana ra reintroduce style of play but no yana o batla go tshameka bolo wa crossa mara ha ona di player tse di telele o tshamekisa bo di prisi o tshamekisa bo potsane bo shothi wa bona o tshamekisa bo Mdudu Sishabala mara o batla go crossa wa bona ke bothata before o ka re system o lebella system ya gago o tshwanetse ba gore thole di player tse le gore di matcha system ya gago
Mara Prati Nabiki coach so ha re bona across a jwalo don't we think gore yena technical team ha di analysts tsa bona le bona tsonse ba bona how these people are short we can't be crossing the ball why re sa di beko fatse even if it's just for now re tla bona ka transfer window ha e fitla mara for now ha re ba dladise gore ba tsebe go dlala credit results o reng ka coach Nabi le technical team ya Prati is going to become back. I'm sure go phone mo. Hey, Prati. Let me go to Black Viper. Welcome to the show, man.
Sharp, man. I'm good, and you?
No, I'm good. Black Viper, tell me about Polokwane City 2-0 versus Kaizer Chiefs. And what do you think about this team, man?
Which team? Which team?
Yeah, Kaizer Chiefs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say about Polokwane City. You know, like
You can
let's
even
talk
go to
about-
Polokwane, whichever one.
Yeah. If you did watch the game, it's Kaizer Chiefs. What was the previous game against Royal AM? ne?
Royal AM, yeah.
Now, Royal AM, it was under pressure in the Zamalek Chiefs. The only chance that they got it was half time after first half. And again, we noticed the player at Kaizer Chiefs during the 60 minutes to 65 minutes. They are not used to this kind of pressure PSL games. Ba tlwaetse pressure ya DDC e loreng re dlala nako e itseng ha ba soka ba e tlwaela bona ba tseba ho dlala bolo ntwana tsena, but problem e ke goreng ba jariswa way too much weight for them. So phoso ya Chiefs di entseng kore seasoning e ntjha ena ba releasitse too many experienced players tsa ntsa gale. They could have left at least 5 or 6 old players so that di thuse ntwana tsena na ka ho carry their feet ho ga ba ya nakong tsa bo di 70 minutes to 85 minutes o reng ba thole motho a tlo ba thusang o reng ba ske ba khabatheya ba kgathala. So another mistake lo reng Chiefs ya o etsa no ko reng they overhype their players, as Mahotmana buile earlier on o reng ba overhype antwana tsena too much. They are scaring people ba reng re tlo shapa batho this season, and then only to find out they don't even know what kind of backdoor deals are being done with their names. They don't know, but clueless. Bona fela ke ntho reng ke dlala Kaizer Chiefs, I want to become a star. But the backdoor deals ke tsona telling most dangerous in football. Ntwana tsa rona they must understand. Bolo nowadays is much more dangerous than it used to be back then. Back then it was all about ke kena go ground ke shapa ntho tsa bote. No, it's even more dangerous than just going on the pitch and play. It's even worse now.
Mara, are we shifting the focus? Kabani, now I think Tintwana Tsena, they're doing well. They're doing well enough. They come with energy, they come with force. Now I'm asking about Bob Peterson, Bob Blom, Bob Miguel, Bob Cross, Bob Totli, Bob Mtetwa. I'm asking about Bob Serino. I'm asking about Bob Dupris. Kanti, where's the seniorness? How come players that have played in the PSL for other teams, they've got tons of games under their belts, now they're acting as though they've never played a game in the PSL? For example.
Yeah, sort of situations so affecting how Fitla teaming has been struggling for many years, because how Fitla when you feel atmosphere emoring was like I thought I get la teaming but only to find out atmosphere is man, it's suffocating. Something's not right. Teaming Kaizer Chiefs, yeah. Tamle le bona ba tswekata ba bue nnete right. Ona le twese right mona. Ha ba ka bua ba tlo ba sharp.
So then Kopabotsa, then if we're saying that the jersey is heavy, there's pressure, there's all of that stuff, what can management do to make sure that the players don't feel that pressure?
Yeah, I anticipated this kind of question. Now, if you become practical, more bolo. Now, you mentioned earlier on, Kaizer Chiefs is the only team considering goal by of it that these other teams you're like Richards Bay and check out Richards Bay back fats. So would it hurt Kaizer Chiefs to play the same way le batwana badlala ska Richards Bay bazale boladi low blocks? Would it hurt them now to do that now to make sure the goal had in ekaba hater now to be practical and try to like severely hurt Klapaza Tswana Lebo Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns? Would it hurt them to do that now, or will it severely damage their pride? Because they must not be having pride, man. Pride as I too say, it only kills.
No, I agree 100%. Actually, let me take it further. Do you think that the problem, Karona, is that we still view ourselves as a top team, and it's and complicated? Maybe sometimes, man, like you're saying, you must just calm down.
Yes, can I answer as if Kibona the top team? They're still telling people Kirona are holding the most records, cup holders, which is true, but that kind of sentimentality, it hurts you even more because now imagine if one day you wake up, Pirates Cup of it away. So what are you going to tell your children? 1, 2, 3, and then suddenly everything is not going well now. So like banally too much pride, man. Practicality what's again in the new coming 3 to 4 years, into just try to minimize the goals low blocks.
Okay, no, Black Viper, Eriki Kenya, better days. How are you? Welcome.
And you, my brother, thanks for a good show as always.
Thank you, my brother. Tell me your thoughts about the match yesterday and also about this situation, man.
Guys, to be honest, your expectations to Kaizer Chiefs are too high. And you are in a building phase, and the expectations, they are too high. When you look at Sundowns, at some point you were saying you can go pound to pound with Sundowns. That Sundowns team has been like that for more than 8 years. So now the expectations for Kaizer Chiefs fans, they are too much. And Nabi is on a building phase. So the only thing he should do, he mustn't play an open game.
Okay.
When you want to win games, you organize your defense. Your defense will win your leagues. But now what I have noticed with them, they go pound to pound. People, they still have that mentality of that old Kaizer Chiefs when they say you don't lose two games in a row. Gone are those days. And that Kaizer Chiefs and that team is no longer existing. People must calm down. You are on a building phase and you are putting pressure, unnecessary pressure on the coach. Look at the guys you have. You can't rely on the youngsters. I think Manoa, he mentioned it the other day. You have to mix them, introduce 2 or 3 or 1 in each game, not to start with 4, 5. And the other thing, you shouldn't have released Bodoli. You should have kept those senior players. They were so important so that these young boys, they can learn from those seniors. That's how you graduate my young players into the team. Because they have that thing. But look, it's like Mulido paper. They don't have that experience and that thing to carry the team forward. Look when you remove Serino and put that guy, what happens? You can see the difference. No, this one have got the energy, but he lacks something.
But can I just push back, devil's advocate? What are they going to learn from the guys that were losing for 9 years previously before that? What are they going to learn from the senior players that themselves were going through a very tough time, had been going through a very tough time for a while? Are they the correct seniors there that could help them win, or are we just calling them experienced and senior players just for the name of it, but they didn't also contribute anything?
Can I give you a good example of Renas? Is it Renas, the striker for Sundowns?
Yeah.
He went to Super Sport, people, they say he failed. Now he come to Sundowns because of tactics. Now he's a complete striker. Why? Because of tactics in the system.
Okay.
Those players you were saying they failed under the previous coach because of tactics in the system the coach was implementing. So you can't say they failed last season and you expect them to fail this season, because this is a new coach which is implementing new tactics in the new system, which he has to still drill into the players. I'm telling you, you'll be shocked if you bring those guys, you say they are deadwood. Yeah, in this system, they can do well and surprise you, because this is a new ball game. They are starting from scratch. There's no history in football. The way you perform now, that's what they need. They don't need that you were superstar 2 years back or what. Your performance, that's what's in you the position in the team.
Okay.
Because if you judge people like that, to say they failed these years, I wouldn't agree much because look at the example I gave you of Renas.
But Renas is joining a winning team with a winning culture, with winning seniors, winning former players. Chiefs, I mean, some of those senior players that have been around since Kevin Johnson, Ntseki, Atazwani, Kevin Hahn, some of them since Ernst Middendorf. Can we expect anything different after 4 coaches have gone through there?
I would say in parting short, look at the mistake which Serino did in the first goal. Look at that score error. Look at how you concede your first goal. And look at the gap and that mistake. You can't scan and he's on his half. He made that mistake. Now you are chasing the game from the first half, and you blame the coach.
Okay,
that's all I can say. But please just give the coach time. You are on a building phase.
Okay,
that's all I can say.
No, thank you. Better days. For time's sake, let me go to Butali. Butali, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, OT.
Butali, tell me about yesterday's game. Tell me about the situation at Chiefs. How do you feel about those things?
I think in that midfield, Kaizer Chiefs will really like creativity. If you really assess the players, Umart and Umteto, these players, you don't see them making line-breaking passes. Most of the time, when the ball is received in the middle by Mart, Umteto, or virtually any midfielders we have, it's always either they lose the ball or it's a back pass. And I'm not saying back passes are always irrelevant, but you can't be doing it on every possession. You have to, we need a player that has the profile of a Rodri from Man City and a Declan Rice from Arsenal. You should be able as a midfielder to turn and make those line-breaking passes, the passes that will progress the play. And again, also, forward it's been better, but it's almost like we are playing with we are committing so many players forward that we are sacrificing the defense. I will say this again and again and again. We cannot play with 2 defenders. We cannot play with 2 defenders. You don't need 7 attackers in a game. You don't need seven attackers, and that's a big criticism that I have for Coach Nabi, because that is not the players, that is the structure, that is how the game is approached tactically. So that means, what is the message from Nabi? The message from Nabi is he's a serial attacker. He's a serial attacker. It's almost like he doesn't care about defense. And also, this next game, I'll have very big criticism on him if he doesn't approach the next game like how he approached the second half from Polokwane City. Because, these senior players like Serino in specifically, he doesn't, I don't know, man. It looks like he doesn't put any effort into the game. These last few games are key, man. Like, it's not been the same as the first 2 games he had. After that Amazulu game, I just felt like, no, not the Amazulu game, the Supersport game. He's just not been performing. And yeah, the technical team as well. It's not been good. It's just not been good enough. And also on the development, I think the reason why players like Mfukeng and have been doing so well is because I don't think there is as much pressure at Pirates than Chiefs. Because Mfukeng, let me make an example of Zwane. If you look at that 4-0 Sundowns game, Zwane did a mistake and he got crucified for it. Mufukeng can make a mistake, but Pirates are still having a good season. The Pirates are still gonna win that game. There's not as much pressure because, you know, in Chiefs, when you come in, they want you to perform because you've not won a trophy in a decade. Pirates,
Can I ask you then? Sorry about that. I just want to ask you, what can management, because I'm looking at time, what can management do? Is there a way then for management or the way the club is run? How do you take pressure off practically?
No, I don't think. I think it just comes down to the club being successful.
Okay.
Because the pressure comes from fans, and you will never please fans unless you are winning games and you are winning trophies. I think it genuinely just comes to that. I don't think there's anything the management can indirectly do to you know, kind of relieve the pressure from the boys. I think it just comes down to winning games. I think that's what it is.
Okay, no. Butali, thank you so much. Guys in the comments, okay, those in the queue to come in, we're moving to Sundowns. I'm gonna free up some time at the end of the show for everybody to come in and give me a minute of what they're thinking, but we're moving to Sundowns. So if you don't want to speak about Sundowns, please, please go out of the comments right now. And then for the comments, I want to ask the question. 2 questions. Can the pressure thing be fixed at an executive level? So can Chiefs as a club do something to alleviate some of the pressure that exists within the club, number 1? And then number 2, when we look at this club, everybody keeps talking about quality players. So tell me about quality. What is quality? What does that player look like? Who are some of the players that you're looking at to come in? Because I feel like we're going to be chasing our tails over and over and over again. Quality. I just want to say this thing before I go into Sundowns. Guys, I think at some point, you have to think about the truths of the situation. The truth is that we are 9 seasons into a losing run. So in as much as you want to say yes or no or this or that, fans will be angry, rightfully so. You can't wish it away. You can't change that. The truth is that you don't have a Williams or a Kutsie, you don't have a Mokwena or a Mudau or a Ribeiro. You don't have those players. And you're not going to have them most probably in the near future. You're not going to get them in the transfer window. So when do you as a club then go, okay, let me orientate this team towards the guys that are there? Because I feel like we're taking attention and putting it so far ahead to all of the other things that we must do and change and whatever in a perfect world, instead of just going, okay, guys, this is what I have right now. You know what was nice when Cross got injured. When Cross got injured and he went off the pitch, we saw 2 things happen. Ditlhokwe came onto the pitch. They became a back 3. They didn't push Ditlhokwe up until the last 15 minutes. Then they brought in Potsane and they told him to cover Ditlhokwe. Did you see how better that looked? So then my question becomes, when you have Abu Sirino on the pitch and Abu Cross, are you doing the work to cover that man? Because we know that he can't run up and down. So if he's running up and down and we know that he doesn't have the engine for this thing, are you putting people in place to cover him, or are you telling him to not go back? These are the tactical questions that I ask, where I'm like, okay, I hear all of the other stuff. Mara, can you at least, see what's going wrong and fix it? Or see what's going wrong and at least now be sober enough to go, okay, guys, you're too small to play. You're too this, you're too that. We're going to play you in a back 4. No higher grade stuff. You're not a wing back, you are a left back. Rather, we get caught with the 4 of you at the back than be caught with 3 of you because I'm asking you to do something that's bigger than you. Lastly, the other thing is that, guys, see, there's a balance of pressure and celebrity. Some players go down to celebrity, some players go down to celebrity, some players go down to pressure. I love Abomfundo. Do you know why? Abomfundo, they love the limelight, man. Umfundo doesn't get affected by those things. That's the type of character you need. But you need older players who are not as flashy, who also can absorb that thing and still play their game. Patrick Mabedi lava. But anyway, remember, guys, those who are in my request right now, we are moving on to Sundowns. I will try, by all means, to open up later on for those who still want to come in and have a conversation about the Kaizer Chiefs or speak about what is happening with that team. So now we're moving to Sundowns. Normally, Sundowns played their Champions League game, their second Champions League game versus AS FAR Rabat, the team that coach Nabi comes from. The game ended 1-1 with goals from Reyners in the 66th minute and Rimat in the 74th minute. AS FAR had 10 shots, 6 on target. Mamelodi Sundowns had 11 shots with 2 on target. Sundowns had 60% of the possession. They completed 568 passes versus AS FAR with 40% of the possession and 381 passes completed. So that is how that game panned out. I'm going to let in people now. We're speaking Sundowns, guys. Remember, we are speaking Sundowns. I will allow you some time towards the end for everybody to come in, but we need to also cover Orlando Pirates. So that is why we do it this way, so everybody can get a chance to have their say about what we've seen in these games. Okay, let me just see. Oh.
I'm the first one. Hey.
You're the first one. You're the first one. We hear you. You're the first one, really. Okay, let me just let everybody in. Tyler, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yes, OT. I didn't want to go in when you were talking about Chiefs. I wanted to come in when this one, especially for this one, you know.
Tell me about Sundowns. I know in the group something has been happening. Tell me about probably the Sundowns of this game they played versus AS FAR.
I think we are seeing Sundowns on OT. They are performing below par. They are performing below expectations. What I've been saying,
guys, please mute, guys.
This style of football, we're gonna test it in Africa. To me, there's 3 qualified coaches there.
Yeah.
And you know, football is a game of questions, and you need to provide an answer.
Yeah.
For me, he's not providing any answers. He's not tactical. He just has one style of play which is very predictable. And I'm sure those guys have done, their homeworks over the last. Maybe they've checked their last 5 games and they've seen, but man, they're playing a direct football. It's no longer the type of football we know. And I always said, with that type of football, you are playing in those guys' hands. Because that's the type of football they know. Playing sideways, cross the ball, and try to find a person running behind. And nicely so, they did exactly that. They applied a low block. In applying a low block, they also put people forward. They press Sundowns, make it uncomfortable. And you've seen the likes of Abo Debucho losing balls, dangerously so. So I'm just disappointed at Coach Mangoba. He's been there for decades when OT's got nothing to show. Because if you are there, you're supposed to apply this philosophy or this style of play or this scheme of play. If this happens, this is what we do. And we've seen that with Rulani, as much as people don't like Rulani, but the guy taught us so much about football. And we were enjoying football under Rulani. Because you had Abu Mutiba in vetting coming, even if you had, you always say, even if you had, weaknesses, but those weaknesses, through his types of play and the way he reads the game, now Rulani had so many types of schemes and how we play, and we've seen players improving. And now look at how many goals have been scored so far. William, and then you're saying players are not addressing. Look at how Madiba performs. Look at how Alenda is performing. He only applied himself towards in fact, the entire team only applied themselves towards the end of the match.
But aren't we unfair? Aren't we being a little bit unfair to Coach Mangoba, Tyler, in that, Rulani got a good 7 months before becoming, 7 months before getting his full season alone as the head coach. He got 7 months of being the sole head coach to work out some kinks and learn the team. Aren't we being a little bit harsh with Mangoba? Especially somebody who's trying to play, change. Similar to Rulani, where he got to experiment before.
Yeah, but Rulani, did he lose matches when OT?
Oh, but if we look at the record, I mean, Mangoba has yet to lose in the group. Rulani had lost one. Last season, they lost one. They drew one. Mangoba has yet to lose in the group. He's number one in the league. 1 game lost. Is it that bad?
It's bad. OT. Look at how they play. Team are dominating when they play against them. Team, they become subpar. Or they come neck and neck with those teams. You don't see the dominance here Sundowns anymore.
But he scored more goals than Rulani.
Yeah, but Rulani is check at Coach Mangoba's record so far, whether in terms of losing games and the entire games he's played so far. Many games when
that's unfair though. Rulani was knocked out first round, Culling Black Label. Knocked out Culling Black Label first round.
You see this weekend they're playing Raja. It's gonna be a draw.
Yeah.
I can bet on you. And if you don't fire him now, and you take him to the Club World Cup, it's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a disaster.
Okay, Tyler. Now I feel like you Yeah.
Those 3 guys with
Rulani lost to Cheers Galaxy.
Yeah?
Rulani lost to Cheers Galaxy, his friend.
Check how many games he has lost Rulani since he took Sundowns. Sundowns gain respect in the continents through Rulani when OT. They are going to the Club World Cup because of Rulani OT.
Because of 3 years prior. It's 4 years worth of results. Don't do that, Tyler.
Okay. No, you must go.
I am Tetelel, it's the truth. World Cup is 4 years, worth of results that they take into account.
Orlando was there that 4 years, ne?
Yeah, semi-final.
Yeah, he was there. And even that season, the last season, Rulani, if it was not for Rulani winning so many games, that 4 years he wouldn't have made it. He contributed immensely.
For time, Marataila. For time. Let me bring you to Chero.
Hey, Oti.
Chero, 1-1 with ASFAR. How do you feel about that game? How do you feel about Coach Mangoba?
You remember what I told you 2 weeks ago? Rulani Mokwena fans are a big problem in Sundowns. They are a big problem. They are making a big noise, but they don't have the stats. You see, about Tyler, it's clear good they watch football on YouTube. Babugama highlights. You just read the stats now. Sundowns dominated with passes. They dominated with the ball position. They dominated with the shots on targets. What more do you want? It's right there. They're scoring more goals. They are losing less games. It's there. It's clear Gucci doesn't watch football. It's clear he didn't watch.
It's Tyler. Let's get into the game.
No, it's because it's people like this who are OT who try and destroy our team. Umango has been at Sundowns for more than 8 years. He has seen what doesn't work in Africa. He said, there's a podcast on Sundowns podcast. He said, this thing of playing slow build-ups, it doesn't work in Africa because you play against North Africans, you play who are very organized like Europeans. So if you wanna give them time to form their defense, you're not gonna win. Hence, we've won the Champions League once, playing counter-attack football with Upit.
Okay.
Playing Olangaman, people who are very direct and with speed. So worldwide, you know, this type of football, your Rulani, no Pep, it doesn't mean things. It's domestically, it's fine. It's gonna do you well. But once you go to Europe, for example, in Madrid, they play with three up front. Bakshang long poly, finish as a kitchen or rotary, and then Benzema goal. Champions League done.
But then can I push back Angani?
Yeah.
We're not seeing that from Umangoba. And as much as he's speaking about it, and we saw it earlier on, the past few games has been a lot of possession. Reyna's out of position. Ribeiro not as effective as he was in the transition from the beginning of the season, the counter-attacks. They've been very slow, a lot of pointless possession, if I put it that way. And the one time, I think it was the only time they played a direct ball was when they scored. But other than that, we haven't seen that over the past few games.
Yes, we must, when I also look at the stats, look at the stats, so we'll see how many goals did we score in the past 3 or 4 games. Are we not the highest scoring goal team in the PSL? Obviously, it's not going to come off every game because team playing against you. But the vision is, let us score more goals. Let's be more direct. That's the vision. It's not going to... Manoma has been in charge for about 2 months, so we cannot expect perfection. But look at how many games he has lost. Which position is he in? Is first position with PSL, first position with CAF Champions League. So what more do you want from this guy? I seriously don't understand this agenda against Umangoba. I seriously don't understand. It doesn't make sense. He went to Morocco and dominated position, more passes, more shots on target in Morocco.
Oh, less shots on target.
On targets. But he dominated the game. I watched the whole game. Most of the time, these guys were playing low block at home. They played counter-attack at home. So, it's what do you want? I'm confused. The people, I'm confused. What do they want?
Can I ask, just for this last few seconds, just for the last 30 seconds here, I wanted to ask, is the Sundowns being so good, or was it AS FAR being a debutant in the Champions League? They had a lot of energy, but they weren't really doing that much with that energy, if we're being honest. How much of that balance was there?
Yeah, sometimes games are like that. Your question is tough to say. Sometimes they didn't have a lot of energy, yes, but they were not playing at home too. As much as they were dominating the ball, but they were not playing at home. If you want to do well in Africa, you draw your away games and win your home games. That is the formula that's been working for hundreds of years. So we cannot expect Sundowns to go to Morocco and win all the time. It doesn't happen like that. It's football in Africa. It's not like that.
For time's sake, I'm going to jump in. Let me bring in the Spo.
Hey, Otsine Nabachita ne Grand Buffet.
Mansimnandi Spo. Tell me, we won in Janike Sundowns versus AS FAR.
Yeah, it was a very interesting game. I just think Mangoba Melapil female lapha na kube warm man. Dressing room Sundowns and players is cold, man. It's cold there. I don't wanna lie, you know. Rulani was not my favorite, but Rulani one thing Ebega female be warm, man.
Hey, ufuna palama later. Don't give up on me.
Not a matter. You know, I was watching the game, the Tambazla, the team yesterday, DRC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Umangoba still believe unama player wakho kunentwana zakhe azifustanayo. They don't have a player as you go to na vele ngoba njani mana ngizondlalisa ngoba kuna choice.
Okay.
You come to the last game, ne? Umodiwa took one for the team. Then when you walk outside the pitch, he's passing by Mangoba instead of ayegumchita mpetha mshaya ehlomba amtshela uthi hard. Uyambona uyambhenga khona ukuthi Umangoba is like about the big players abomodiwa abomudawa abomokwena. You still have issues. I don't know, and that's the difficult part as over now. If it doesn't work, it doesn't make a warm family like a warm team. So going to a game ngokwayo.
Before Undula, do you think that Mangoba should be given the chance to bring in his own players and sign his own people? Because that was something that Rulani got a chance to do. You know, keep Abo Charlie, Abo Sompo got to sit down, Abo Onyango. he sort of built his own team of people that love and trust him. Do you think that Mangoba should be given an opportunity to do that as well? Or should he, man,
according to me, what Sundowns abanayo njengamanje abekho ama-player bet ukudlula lawa. If you give Mangoba the chance to go and sign, who is going to sign? Because all the best players now, njengamanje kuselo apolice kuphulukwane, Sundowns bathatha yena, we don't have another player eli quality ye Sundowns. So we don't have time for him to uthathola ama-player wakhe. Because like if you remember from Sundowns Pitso rulani, every department you had a quality player, a right back, full right back, left back. Abayenzi dog pay should be swipe umuntu like the side, but most of the side because they've got quality. Center back, you have someone who specializes on center back. We don't move my player around. Then Rulani came with a strategy, but it worked for Rulani. The problem with Mangoba is I'm still saying that you see Abamko they are playing, but they don't have that feeling with our coach on this thing. We know which this guy, man, is not our father. You see, Rulani, but he became their father on the pitch. He gave them that thing with guys have got you. If you look at coaches like Abo Simeone, Atletico Madrid, Abo Pep Guardiola, they become friends with players, they talk to players, they become female. But Mangoba just sit there and they're born. This guy seems like let me pick players somehow. And that's what's gonna happen when you go to games instead of going to a player. Even okay, for example, Mkwena is a big player. Mkwena has got the right to walk out of the pitch. Coach, I think this move let close there, but they can't do that.
Mara, when Charlie did that, okay, Charlie was a different story. But when the older players did that to Rulani, he said, "Go, guys, I'll go fetch Mokwena from Supersport. You don't know him."
But okay, like for example, uzwane ubeka yenza lento le ku Rulani. Uhlapho kekane beka yenza ku Pitso Mosimane. William uyayenza ibeka yenza ku Rulani. Beka yenza uyayenza even bafana. As a senior player, you have got the eye ukuthi utshela coach ukuthi sikulunge la asenze lokhu nalokhu. Njengamanje I believe mina ukuthi uRainers had that guy angazi ukuthi uguti kuphi. For me I believe ukuthi somehow for the outlet by taking him Brazil sales, they're supposed to be starting him now. He must be playing. But as I'm saying, no one can tell Umangoba anything. I even believe even Steve Compella. Somehow he knows this guy I can't just in. So that's the biggest problem sometimes they face now, man. Rulani, yes, you whatever happening, but Rulani we chance to by imbono ya. So by imbono ya. So going to Africa, they must draw away game, win home game. If they come with that mentality, Puma, it's the same thing as Rulani shire home. So once you go with the mentality of their game that you want to draw, you're not going to succeed with CAF.
Kubeka sports. Okay, we've got time.
So it's the same thing. Player choose on Mangoba. We've got the boy. I'm last time with center back. Mangoba before the season insisted the boy is good. The boy is gonna play ahead of big players. And then because of the push agenda, he just decided to start to ukekana. Ababege pension in some games. Abolibusa. After the Ntwana Pilivela Guy. We've got Mkulisa, we've got Mayema. Those guys, in fact, that's a cream of our football. But if you're going to keep on putting Mkulisa Penchini, even when Allende is not giving us anything, give Mkulisa a chance. Because we mostly believe that a person who was going to come, if who's running King is Mkulisa. But whatever reason we don't know, Ngoba is not playing Mkulisa. So somehow, I want to run away from the distance that you compare Umangoba no Rulani. But I believe Umangoba in Kawata with Sundowns. Whatever lesson must work on it for him to go forward. You need all the players and you must treat all the players equally as a coach.
Okay. No, for time, I'm gonna jump in just to let in Ongama, welcome to the show. How are you?
How are you, Uchi?
Hi, man, I'm good. Tell me about the Sundowns team. I'm hearing a lot, man.
What I'm observing into this Sundowns team, they want to play in high intensity football, but sometimes it causes some sort of a problem in terms of the defense, in terms of Abo Oprimotiba. And also, sometimes Muvala gets yellow cards there and there in terms of the game. So in terms of them playing high intensity, they are struggling in terms of defense, but they are trying to recover. Like now, Vala is out because of injury. So I think if they can try to a little bit to make sure that they make a slow build up in terms of the play, they will be good as a team in terms of the play. And also if they can work more in terms of, because I see that they want to play in terms of the transition football. When I'm looking at that game of the AS Farabat, because I look at that game, all of it, Sundowns wanted to play quick transition football. They didn't want to include more in terms of the goalkeeper. So if they can a little bit to involve in terms of the slow build up and make sure that they involve every department in terms of progressing the ball going forward, to make sure that the players like Opremoti, but they are not caught in terms of position when the transition of the opposition team is coming to them, they have time to recover. So that's one of the things that I observed in that game. And also the other thing I observed in that game, Sundowns played better in terms of what they wanted to play. They played better. The type of play they played in, I think they play Araswatwat, that team they played draw in 0-0. That was the bad game. I think the game against AS Farabat was better in terms of rotation of the ball. It was better, but in terms of recovery, because of the speed that they use going forward, they were caught in some of the position by ASFA team. And also congratulations to ASFA, because they performed better. They were one of the teams that was technically good. And I think even Coach Nabi, we must congratulate, because that team was not performing when he was not there. He tried to elevate that team. It was a team that was around number 7, number 8. He elevated that team into a second sport team. So we must congratulate the coach that was there before. And also, I think Ngoba must fix in terms of the slow build up from the back. If he can make sure that he involve more of the goalkeeper in terms of the build up in CAF Champions League, I think that's one of the things that can help his team into progress going forward. That's my point of view.
Are those not things that he should be given a chance to implement? Because, like I've said, Coach Rulani got a lot of time to think about that team before implementing the chameleon football. Are we judging Mangoba harshly in comparison to Rulani as well, in that sense that he doesn't have time to tinker and change and fix, or is not being given that time?
The only problem with this team, which is Orlando Pirates and the Kaizer Chiefs and Sundowns, you are not given much time if the results are not coming. Like, he is drawing the games away. So it's quite difficult for him to recover in terms of those things. But if he can try to get some points, because he is a team that is on second spot, that means he's a close range in terms of qualifying, which means if he can get 3 points and make sure that he makes sure that his team is not struggling in terms of getting points in there. Then in terms of the knockout stage, it's easy, because you're playing one game, you know you are playing for a win. Every team is playing for a win. Then it's easy, because even Kaizer Chiefs, when they were playing in CAF Champions League in 2021, we struggled in group stages. But when it comes to a knockout stages, it's where every team, it's do or die, where everyone wants to make sure that you play for a win. You go out, you make sure that even if you concede, you make sure that you score and score a goal, because everyone wants to make sure that he wins. So I think even if Mangoba Mncete can master the one thing and make sure that if he is there in the second spot, in that group is number 2, and if S5 doesn't open up the gap for him, if the S5 doesn't open up the gap for him, then he must make sure that every time he makes sure that he doesn't go down and get the point away.
We're going to have to jump in. Thank you, my brother. Just to be fair to everyone, Let me bring in Lebza. Lebza, welcome to the show. How are you?
My good sir, I've been patiently waiting. I've
I
been sitting outside,
I
just
know.
listening, and I'm like, hey, I'm burning inside.
Tell me, what are you panicking about? Let me know what's happening.
No, I've been hearing discussions about how Rulani was winning. Hey. I'm like, what football are these people watching? What was he winning in the group stages? He had wins, he had losses, he had draws. Let's not fabricate stats out of nowhere. Like we had difficulties in CAF last season. Let's not start sugarcoating things. We couldn't score against teams like Yanga. We were beaten thoroughly and royally and properly by what's this team from thingy?
Esperance.
And you know what they were doing? They realized that Sundowns loves holding the ball. They were like, take the ball. Play it at the back there in the middle, do whatever you want to do with it. But when the opportunity comes, we'll go score. And that's it. That's what was happening. So we like now making up things about how we were invincible under Rulani and all of that, but we were not. Look at even some of the games that we won in the PSL towards the end. They were scrappy. We got lucky against certain teams. Referees made decisions that went our way. Teams had learned to just give us the ball and say, play, and they let us just play because there was nothing we were doing to them. We were not causing them any danger. So we were happy. Yeah, Sundowns is just passing the ball. We are going for 600 passes, 700 passes. We want 1,000 passes. For what? We were not doing box entries. We were not causing threats. We were not having shots on target. We were struggling. And then now, the same coach that's being praised, what position is he now? Like 5, position number 5. They've scored 15, they've been scored 12. Goal difference 3. Where's Sundowns? Number 1. Where's Widad? Number 5. Why is he not doing that with Widad? They supported him. They bought every player that he wanted. They backed him. They came out when the fans wanted to chase him out. The board came and said, we stick with this man, we support him. And with all that support, he's still number 5. So let's not sugarcoat things and make up stats. Beyond that, I'm happy with the game that we were playing. The team really fought well. I was happy that we scored first. Of course, there were moments where we could have scored more. And of course, the downside is that ASFAR was denied a penalty as well there, that I think was a clear penalty. But beyond that, I think the game was really good. It's a good draw away. And then we still have matters in our own hands. So no one is doing us any favors.
Lebza, can I ask you? Can I ask you, just for the time now, can I ask you, how do you feel about this idea of players and coaches having to, I don't know, make it a safe place and like family and all of that stuff?
I think it's nonsense. I think players are professionals. It's a workplace. It's not your home. You want that kind of a relationship, go have it at your home with your kids and your wife. At work, you are working. Be a professional. That's it. You are being paid lots of money, hundreds of thousands for that. Why are we nursing men like they're kids? They're grown men. They need to behave as such.
How do you balance it with the idea that Rulani got to pick his soldiers, if that makes sense?
Yeah, but,
should Mangoba be allowed to pick his soldiers?
He sidelined a lot of players. Look at Tapelo Morena. We thought he was even going to be finished. But now he's back. He's a machine. You can see that there were a lot of players that were put on the side. Last season, players like Motaung had to play with injuries. Because why? He didn't prepare other players. He didn't give them opportunities. Now we're seeing a lot of players come to the fourth and they're giving their all. I mean, if it was up to me, I was going to advise him to just drop mokwena, put him on the bench, or even not on the bench, on the stands, and bring him only when we are leading by 2 goals or so. This guy has been I've been monitoring him in games. he's been trying to drink us, and it's not fun. And he can say whatever he wants to say, but he's a professional. He's being paid to play football. He needs to behave like one. We don't want players that are loyal to certain manager. We want players that are loyal to the bench. Do you think we can question Tembazwane's loyalty to Sundowns? No, that will never happen. Because why? We know he's loyal to the club, not to the coach. That's where it ends.
No, for time. Lebza, thank you so much for joining me, guys. We're going to go into Pirates next. We're going into Pirates next. So if you are requesting, please know that you are going to speak about Pirates. I'm going to give you some time to jump off if you're not there for Pirates. Then we can go from there. All I want to say about this situation, guys, I think sometimes we downplay this relationship thing. You know, when Coach Jose Mourinho left Chelsea, a lot of the people that followed for AVB and those guys struggled. And it's because Coach Jose Mourinho had made Drogba, Terry, Lampard, Czech, had made them his players, his seniors. You guys are my instrument. You run the dressing room through me. I have built that relationship with you. And now when a new coach came in and tried to maybe change that hierarchy or come in and try and there's a relationship that goes missing. And when you look at all of the different coaches that have coached at different places, Coach Rulani has a lot of people, blood on his hands, when he's made his transition. You never would have thought Jali could be replaced. We never could have thought Thompo could be replaced. We never could have thought Onyango, CAF goalkeeper of the year. At some point, he was standing on stage with Kimang, was it Salah that year? He was standing on stage with those big players, right? And they were all moved on. You can find new players, but the question is, do you trust Mangoba to go and find his own guy? Do you know why Mangoba's bringing these kids in? He's bringing these kids in and these fringe players. He's bringing them in so that they can remember that he's the one that gave them their chance. That's a very powerful thing. I'm the one that gave you your chance. You think Khoza is going to go up against Coach Mangoba? You think about Klauku will go against Coach Mangoba? You'll think about Tapelo Morena, like Lebza was saying, who are out in the cold, will go against him, knowing that that's the man that gave me my shot and my opportunity. All the coaches do these type of things, guys. The question again becomes, if we're seeing that there's a lot of players who maybe aren't feeling Mangoba, one, or who's maybe not feeling Mangoba, or who don't fit into Mangoba's style of play, will you allow him to go into a transfer window and move all those people out and bring in players that he can, whether it works or not? It's not about working or not. It's about, will you allow him to bring those players in and play his football fully? Similar to what happened with Coach Rulani. Rulani was rotating for 13 players last season towards the end. Wasn't even trusting the other guys on the bench to come in and do anything. So that's going to be a very interesting thing to look out for. Okay, we're moving to Pirates now. Let's see. Okay, Orlando Pirates played Ahly, the big dogs of African football. 12 championships under their name. It was a 0-0 final score. Pirates had 9 shots. They had 2 on target. Ahly has 6 shots, 5 on target. Pirates had 52% of the possession versus Ahly's 48. They completed 380 passes versus Ahly's 355. As it stands right now, Ahly is number 1, Pirates is number 2, Peruistad is number 3, and Stade Abidjan is last with no points to their name up to this point. Muta Maronza. Okay, let me see who's here, and then we can start it. Okay. Velile mtakababa.
Mtakababa kunjani?
Man ngimnandi mtakababa. That's why ngicale ngami ukuthi ngibhodle ngibe right. Velile. Ndlalile 0-0 Ahly. Ubona njani ke?
Yeah. Yithi abantu mntaba. I just feel as if ngathi
Ukubunike uthayila futhi isikhathi nyane bakasafuna ukubhodla man. Hey, awumnike masiqeda la ukukhuluma into ezibalulekile. Ngoba yambona uyashisa man kodwa kuzolunga. Hey, kube ezweni madoda. Bafo. Hey, angazi man ukuthi ngayiqala ngithini inkulumo. Kwakuhle esigodini sika Mamenzela. Waphumela amabhakane yake. Sikhona nathi lapha sebesihleli lapha ngase ngeduze nabantu bayalahli yabo laba ngathi bekuyi VIP nyana lapha engabhenywa khona engakhala igubhu zomaronza lapho kuthulile nje uhlale nje kahle kamnandi. Siyabonga engingakusho nje ukuthi hey yazi mangithi yithi abantu sengisholo ukuthi ukuwabona sathi masiqala le season sikhuluma indaba ye-CAF wena ikakhulukazi nabangani bakhe abaningi baba analyst when you said sike saba khona la hey nasichitha man beningasiniki chance kodwa siyamangala ukuthi yithi esikriticize kakhulu manje ukudlula abanye yewe sikriticize ngakhona you are so hard on us man isikriticize nalaba bakule TV leyana esingesabiza ngegama but kodwa azange nisinike nje indlela ukuthi sisoke siphumelele kodwa zange nisi but ngiyamangala ukuthi makuza kulabanye anithambile ngize ngezo nomngani wami la uagent azathi badrowe ne team ebest ukudlula iZZ Believer kade emadoda akunzima wasoqala ukusijustify kanje kodwa hayi kuzolunga sibuye emidlalweni surprise by Ribeiro. All of us were shocked singambona ngoMaswa ngayi singasazi isizathu but since the coach yet the decision and uyikhulumile ukuthi his health reason asazi noma right or wrong but it was a surprise to see Usaling starting with the match and also Umago starting with the match. So yeah, I think those were the 3 surprises eswabonile.
Yeah.
Of which angeke question kakhulu because angithi asazi kwenzakalani so xhasa nje coach but when it comes to match on itself they didn't bear any results or any fruit because you could see Usaling he was not match fit. And Uhoto on his left hand side he was lost. It shows what he doesn't normally play that position anymore. He is normally playing from the left wing, coming drawing energy, coming from behind, attacking. But on Saturday, I can't tell what they were lost because Ahly had a plan. Because if you look at the Ahly, typical North African teams, and then some people they might not have realized that Ahly, especially the first half, they were wasting time. They were buying time. They could just sleep for no reason, and they could chunk a minute or two. First half, again, and when they trying to create a foul sangeko, thanks to the referee, who was so consistent in terms of like noticing that sometimes they're just trying to buy time. But they're good back to this card, he didn't notice it, but that's what they did. And yeah, it was good. Ahly resorting to that systems. And there was a difference between 10 position less kalangayo edlala umufukeng nedlala udito. It showed on Saturday Guti. Udito is doing much more because if our central middle fielders they are not performing Makaula no but he always drops to go and collect the balls. So that's why sometimes he's exposed into more action. And when he will lose that ball, then people will complain and say he loses too much ball. But then sometimes it's because Washo Rivera ufuna ball libe kuye. So he exposed himself into position whereby he have to receive the ball and play, and of which is imbulalise ngabantu futhi. Because if you go to lose those balls, abasabheka umsebenzi owenzayo mawusaqala. And ibuye kutshengisa kakhuluma kanjalo kubafana uTebogo umenzela umsebenzi loyo okumele ngabe uwenzela uMbatha kuPirates. But uMbatha is just failing to do that. While uTebogo uyamenzela kubafana. That's why I could see him kubafana is more upfront as compared to coming back to taking the defense. But angeke simshaya uRelay was just your typical 10 velo phambili. And so but because Ahly they got good defensive, they were so solid. azange abonakala kangako, but I think
Are you worried ngetech yakho velile just for time's sake? Are you worried ngetech yakho at all?
kakhulu nganje ngathi mzonke uzofaka umahuba sidlala siyi9 le this new invasion yakho nabangani bakho manhlane ikhuluma ukuthi umahuba uyapressa wenzani kodwa kuyistrike agcwala yonke indawo. Ngakutshela ngakahle ngathi ngiunderstand, ngeke futhi ngize ngivune ngiunderstand. When you start ngomahuba you must know you're -1. Cela ufake esinye istrike esizohlala ku-18 ezizokora, because lo wena uzogijima aphume neground enze yonke izinto umahuba wena according to your new terminology of football of technocrats nani asikho lapho. Cha. Yeah,
Okay.
one last thing.
Very quickly.
One last thing. Usisana, he's a disaster waiting to happen esikhathini esiningi. So because he's doing the fourth time now, he's doing the same mistake. You cannot give players a hospital pass. If you put a ball on a defense, you have to start the play. Angeke player liflatele the field bheke wena uliphasse libhola kuna 3 players behind them. He has done that makudlane magesi, and he was explosive in the penalty. He has done that against Amazulu when Extend took that ball from Ulukuyan. But now he is doing it to Ulukuyan. He must stop doing that. He is looking at the field, pass the player mangabeli free. And please, go die.
Think for Maronza, go banyazi.
Unekutshayela ispace sakhe apho.
Hayi man. Ngifuna Maronza. Ngibonile iqhumisa ama smoke bomb lapha. Ngiyazi, I know it's you Maronza. Ngazi ukuthi uqhumisa lezo zinto. Maronza, welcome to the show. How are you? Mthayele kake yini man? Ngikubonile lapha nothele no captain. Nichaiva. Hey, nachaiva.
Awumfethi yazi mfethi kumnandi kanjani i-captain yethu mfethi, the former captain izwale center line. You know, we like, I was shocked, I was so humbled, to be honest, like for somebody like Ujele to come there, But at the end of the day, we're happy, But back to the game, OT, I'm happy with Mufokeng, playing that role. That's a difficult role to play, and we're expecting more from him. But nevertheless, he didn't give us the way we're expecting a call. You understand? Now we're starting to see that is. I know people are criticizing him, but he's giving us more when he's in the field of play. Velile, let me answer Velile. Masongani is injured. I think he's injured from the previous game here in Africa, so he's injured. Even though they can hide it, but he's injured. You understand me? So I think they don't want us to panic, but he's injured. Then the other thing that I'm disappointed with the Ahly team, man. Come on, man. If they're going to play dirty like that, and then when teams goes to their backyard, right? Egypt, they don't want that. They say teams are by Sropa, by Alala, and all those things. Those guys, man, they were sleeping the whole day there. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, they were breaking the tempo of the game all the time, So it was not a nice game. They were there for a draw. Simple as that. Simple as that. But the other thing is that I think the introduction of Udlamini was too late. I think second half is supposed to come back at least, earlier. And disappointed Ngombata, I don't want to lie. I was a little bit off. That is not Mbata that I know. So I was a little bit disappointed of that. Hoto, he didn't give me what I wanted. That's why I'm telling it in Komo, but in Komo is Komo. But you're Sebens. And the other thing is that I think Umuha was supposed to be introduced at early. I think Uvedil has just said, would see what's one? Or this guy, he was not match fit.
Saleh.
He was not match fit. Saleh is supposed not to come. It's supposed not to start with the game. I think it's supposed to start with Dlamini, and then Saleh outside, and then Mohawa in the game. So that we have the balance. So Dlamini as a 10, and then side to side, so Mohawa understand? So that we balance. I think if it was me, I'd rather sacrifice Saleh, put him outside, take Ulentuzan Mohawa on the side we were Mfukeng, take back Hoto the back, done. You understand me? I think Ulentuzan is supposed not to start also. I know we like him. We like him, but he's for that game, it's a big game, guys. We're supposed to win that game, to be honest. But I'm disappointed with Ahly, bro. I don't want to lie. The way they were playing, the way they were doing things.
Maronza, isn't this African, man? This is the true African champions.
No. That is if they're going to the what do you call it, or World Clubs, what, and then they're going to play like this, then I don't see them coming back.
Yeah.
Lastly, there was one thing that but anyway, I think Pirates, good start, take nothing away. 4 points, 2 games. What more do you want? 4 points, 2 games. What more would you want? And any into abafethu ngiyawubonga amabhakani abafethu. Amabhakani amfethu aphuma mfethu. Amabhakani aphuma mfethu, and bafethu noma kunini bafethu, they must come and fill up Orlando Stadium bafethu, and ngiyawancanywa mfethu.
Manje
number 8.
Yeah.
Mfethu. Al-Ahly, bafethu, Pirates ngicela bangisayinele uMahomed bafethu. Hayi.
Akram
bafethu. Hayi, Starlista. Uthi alise Starlista. Hayi lese Star. Lesa mfethu mangaza ku Pirates. Abombatha can sit down. Abo Makaula can sit down for that guy. That guy is a star, bro. Let that Starlista, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maronza mina ngithi. Yeah. No, bengithi Maronza mina manismema, do I have to wear an Adidas shirt nami nje ngikhiphe emnyama nizongilwisa lapha ku center line?
Center line akulwisa umuntu. The only thing is that center line fit, that is the most peaceful place you can come.
Yeah.
Because it is the Chiefs will accept you. The only thing lento ukuthi unga-celebrate at least kuri Chiefs bese lapho nempama uzozihola. Kodwa ungeza nge-Sundowns, ungeza ngani mara mawufika lapha yazi simbiza bobani? Simbiza boKasungu. Nifunani boKasungu la Kasungu?
Okay, Maronza. Hayi ngiyanazi, khalimpama lapha. Yo, ngiyanisaba. Let me go to Ubuya.
Zwakazi. Sharp.
Let me pick Ubuya. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, OT. Can you please unikeze uabuti kuto kala and then Zobia after, please?
Okay, no, masbe malume kuto. Bakufile starting lineup man.
If every Sundowns lengwenya, so I think imelele around le muti you can open up again. Isafuna ukuthukana kancane. Safuna ukutekela izinto ezinzima kabi.
How did you see the game?
Iziningi izinto Mr. OT yabo engakhuluma ngazo regarding the game.
Okay.
The first one being, Orlando Pirates is going to be in trouble. Not the playing personnel, the team as an institution. Mr. OT, I went to Orlando and I saw security guards sneaking people in a sold-out stadium. Where are they going to sit? Another Ellis Park is looming. Pirates must do something. People are sitting in the stairways where one with very numbers. So another Ellis Park is looming if Orlando Pirates management does not get their act together. I was not searched at the gate. Neither was any of the 100 people who followed me.
Yeah.
You can get stabbed. I am telling you, like I saw some things that made me feel uneasy. Further, I had to deal with the family Amazulu. I'm sorry if you're Zulu here. That came trying to force their way to sit last corner because I went to the toilet, left my partner there, had to come back and be aggressive, Mr. Uti. Had to come back and literally turn into an animal, Uti. I am not moving here. And that is not pleasant. that is not something I want to experience in Jado. So now, in as much as Umarons are saying people must come, I'm really like reconsidering which is it worth it to mele nyobuke the game sengikwatile, you understand. So it's not pleasant, Mr. Uti. Towards the end of the game, I see sister is reminding me of something. Towards the end of the game, I think the ref gave a corner against Pirates on the other side. A bottle flew from the top into the pitch. A bottle straight. Lingene kanjani, Mr. Uti. Sizolimazana lapha eOrlando. People are gonna stab each other. People are gonna beat each other. Bashayela lamakhanda. The day my results don't go right. Bakhohlwa khona abantu ababhejile. Uyangiunderstand, Mr. Uti. So nje akumnandi man, akumnandi. Mhlawumbe mohlelile uziculela kumnandi, but it can't be that we allow such.
I remember you once said, or you have to go sit the corner. Man, mele sifunele corner. Maybe lapha phezulu la where there's nobody if you ufuna uku-enjoy game. I remember you saying something like that.
Stadium of last plates, I hear that corner. You are getting people who are not used to coming to the stadium. Sorry, they don't sing, they don't support, they're just there to fight for their Betway tickets. They're just there to sweat the players. They have no understanding of football. They celebrate goals, the offside, but they celebrate like crazy. Like sihlelile phezulu, Mr. OT. Sihlelile phezulu. Uyabona ukuthi yalibona ground. Like there's nothing obstructing your view. Ufuna ukusukuma, mele sukume sonke manje. Some people buy more. You know what? Yeah. I really believe mele spalama test to be an adult is told my ID. Or failure test, I will totally ID. And you will treat it like a kid your entire life because I'll go serious about becoming an adult. There is no way that we have to live like this. But anyway, back to the game, Mr. Uti. I saw something that is reminiscent of what I heard on the socials here. You understand? Someone said Talent Mbata was a striker. Hey guys. And when I watch him play, I'm starting to see which he really doesn't think like a midfielder. Currently, maybe he's just his form is just taking a dip. But currently, he doesn't think like a striker. I mean, he doesn't think like a midfielder. He thinks like a striker. When he's near my goalpost, he comes alive and he tries to score. But when he's in the actual midfield, having to do midfield things, I hear Velile criticizing this guy, Sesan. But how are you as a midfielder receiving the ball without scanning? Where do you think you are? And then the sad part is that he doesn't apologize. He wants to fight literally everyone across the defense. Okay, let's say pass under pressure. Wall pass. Uluza kanjani? Asicale ngalokuthi uluza kanjani? Okay, likhahlele ngaphandle ke throw in. Angithi lahlula bakuphasa abantu babaningi. Likhahlele like literally on our D line. You lose the ball there. Or bengaboni ukuthi on our D line uqanga into yenzakalani emuva kwakho. Where do you think you are? Are you on the wing? Nonetheless, when he's in front of goal, he comes alive. And then another player I want to thank the coach, contrary to other people, is Usaleng.
Okay.
Saleng is a consistent and persistent goal threat. Saleng is matured compared to Nkota. And when it comes to Nkota, I want us to remember how Urile Mofokeng was introduced. Let's not get carried away. Let's also give Nkota a chance to mature into the team. I mean, he just arrived. 90. Against my Egyptian, only bam dominator kanjani. Young man my Egyptian. And I saw those bodies, Mr. Uti. Before, when they were walking, and I was like, these guys are big. I don't know if it's TV. Those guys are big. They've got like wide bodies. Besides being tall, their bodies are very wide. It took Mfukeng maybe 60 minutes to realize which okay, single trap away from them, and then I can turn to them. You understand? But before then, Bibem Chais. So a player like Unkota as well, I feel like if he loses his first duel, he shrinks immediately. Because if I ask you what he did against Al Ahly, maybe I'm unfair because of time, but do you remember any memorable moment?
But isn't that part of the youth of him? Because even in his normal position, he goes missing sometimes. Is number 10 maybe a bridge too far?
No, Nkota.
Oh, Nkota. Yeah, well, similar. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't see much from him when he did come on.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that Saleng was the perfect guy for that. And Saleng's bonama koltrata maning, Mr. OT. Yes, miscontrol here and there. We can say which we need to oil him up a bit. But Usaleng is a goal threat, a persistent. And let's not forget as well, Luguti, Saleng also had his Nkota moments. Apart from the Sundowns game where he came in and lit up the scene, bigger games after that, it was a stumbling block for him. I remember the Soweto derby and the following Sundowns games after that, he sort of struggled. And then, man, he's become this player where we like, when it's a big game, who do you call? You call Saleng. So let's not like overburden Nabo Nkota, Nabo Mfukeng. Let's give them time to say, okay, let them mature in these roles. Mfukeng, yes, we've given him time, but I want us to be more patient with the coach in how he selects Nkota. You really can't play Nkota, Mr. Uti, in that game against Elon. It's tough. And Kanake Mangwenya, Upep has been advocating for Jayden Adams. Bengifuna ukuthi Lindo uhola malini from Jayden Adams' team, but right now ngimeno Pep nami ngifuna Adams.
Okay. Let me bring in Vuyo. Vuyo, are you with me?
Fred, ngibonga ithuba mfethu ngibulise namabhakaniya ngibulise wonke umuntu.
Uthi ngale game man Vuyo phela nina your team is used to playing these Champions League games. Nabo Ahly nabo Banban. How did you see this game with the Pirates versus Al Ahly?
Mina OT, to being honest now, like ngikhuluma iqiniso. Bengazi ukuthi ali lokudelaya ukwenza yonke lento bebayenza. I know ukuthi into abazoyenza leyo. I-Ali playing away games, they go with the flow. If i-goal abalitholi, they take a draw and then they go home with a draw. Ali will never see Ali fans kuma-group stages. Kuma-group stages. So they always play ngendlela abadlale ngayo. So bengazi vele noma ungachecka ushaya research yakho, Ali will park the bus and mabapake ibus uzodlala kuphi, as asho abutikucho ukuthi they are big and tall and what. Kuphi lozodlala khona ibhola, because maqala ujump half yakho, they press you hard and bayakhaba benza make sure ukuthi they press you. I think uzodlaleke Egypt bayadlala, they play normal game, but I know ukuthi Ali vele into ezoyenza le noma ungayibiza nayiphi team, if bayabona ukuthi okay angeke go to toe with Orlando Pirates, not ukuthi angeke bakhona, they can, it's just that abafuni ukuluza. Uzokhumbula ukuthi iweather bona ayibasuthi because le kubolena kuse winter manje. La kuse summer, so
but also just in general, Uma group stages, Ali doesn't always get out of gear too, man. By the time bafika knockouts, that's when you'll see them and even then it's not that much different.
Yeah, Ali they play with a strategy, OT, and I'm sorry to say this, but I think they need to go to bamdlalise lo mabaso sometimes. Badlale nabo Rudwan. Yazi noma yini OT ku football yasebenza. Noma yini ulwele ama second ball. It's not always ukuthi kuhlale kuyitikitaka. Just smash lento lena uwin, it doesn't matter. Not fancy. Because sometimes mawufuna ukudlala ukuliqala wenzeni labantu mabenze low block, it's very difficult to ama spaces in between, because I think now bana ama video analysts by analyze kahle Orlando Pirates how they play, They know them manje ukuthi okay, they have certain players adlala so. The whole team, they started. Ubabonile bathi bacala ibhola emuva ukuthi bebenzani. Bebema straight like boxing baba closer down. Ukuthi bangakwenzi lokho. So uyababona ukuthi beze nge-game plan and i-game plan yabo isebenzile. But I must also give credit to Orlando Pirates. They play very well.
Yeah.
Even it's a draw, it's fine not to lose at home. A draw is very important. So angeke sithathe for granted, and they are playing with the giant, and it's not the first time. Ali izala draw ne Pirates. No, it's not the first time. Against in the past, and then even in the final, they go and then bamba away bafike badliwa 1-0. But this time around, I think Orlando Pirates izodlala. Umbatha always ama player kunama upside down. Alikho player like la performa onke ama player ama games kahle alikho. Kunama games whereby nawe uzolowa down as a player. Kumele bakukhuthaza ama teammates wakho bakukhavele whatever. So it's part of football leyo. Alikho player lahlale perfect njalo. There is no one ohlala njalo. Ama mistakes bazowenza basalena, basafunda abanye bakhona. And baphethe i-defender lapho sesemncane lesi boy uThabiso sesana udlala lapha central midfield central defender. And I wish ukuthi uOlisanda angabuya because of Egypt bazobe baba-try by all means ukuthi bayuse ama-corner kicks nama-set piece. Bazotry ukukora nge-height. So I think Olisanda angabuya uzobanikeza stability lapha central defense different, and bazoba more strong. But for me, we must give credit to his due. Orlando Pirates play very well, and congratulations to them. I wish them all the best. And OT, let me tell you something. Abantu abangayas. As a Sundowns fan, I'm very, very happy with Orlando Pirates. I never saw a league game being postponed because of the CAF Champions League. This is the first time in my life whereby the league started late. OT.
Yeah.
I never got that luxury. So I am thankful. Orlando Pirates must continue so that Nami I will continue playing my games with CAF nabo. I will need them ukuthi badlale ku CAF. OT. I'm very, very happy.
Okay. No, Vuyo, thank you so much. Okay, guys, look, I'm going to now allow, let's say 10 minutes. I'm going to allow 10 minutes for people to come in, and you can have a chat. I'm going to prioritize people who have not spoken yet. And I also like to see people like Abo Nonyana who are speaking about TS Galaxy in the comments. Please feel free to jump in and tell us about TS Galaxy, that maybe we've got blind spots about those teams. So for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to allow those who have not spoken to just have some time to give me a minute. Just tell me about what you are thinking and where you stand with all of this stuff, and we can go from there. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay. Let me see who's here. Hey, Kalewana le champano. Hey, Kalewana le champano, but it's fine. Everybody's gonna get at least just a minute. Guys, please, when you come in, be as quick as you can so that we can bring in as many people as we can. Hey, Barakaisa request, please remember. Okay, anytime. Okay, let me see. Let me start with Prasten. We'll come back to Utsele. Prasten, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm just around.
Prasten?
OT, kunjan baba.
Mangimnandi, Prasten. Prasten, you've got a minute. Tell me what you want to speak about.
Yeah, ngicela ukudivert anyana ngicela first thing ngicela congratulate Mamelodi Sundowns ladies team for winning the league for the fifth time. No coach basebenzile amantombazana, and then ngithanda futhi ukubongisa ne Mamelodi Sundowns the way dlale ngakhona, especially away. Even though asikhona ukubuya ne full 3 point, but at least we managed to save a point. Thank you, OT.
Now all I wanted to say, Prasten, You're acting like Mamelodi Sundowns ladies has not won this league 2 months ago. Marasi Kolafo.
No, but I need they were crown this all. They were crown this all. And then nobody's talking nobody's talking anything about them.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, well, so I just wanted to remind the soccer fraternity who Sundowns is not only doing well in the men's team, at least nasemantombazane at least kungcono bayetsa handle kodeng wabona.
No, thank you, Preston. Thank you, Preston. Let me bring this
that's what I wanted to say. I can't complain about a lot of things. I'm just happy about my team.
Okay, no, Preston. Thank you so much. Let me bring in Zamenzi. We've got a minute. What do you want to come in and tell us about? Welcome.
OT, everyone on the panel. Good evening and thanks for the opportunity, guys. Just a quick one. I'm starting with Orlando Pirates, a team that let themselves down. They should have won this game. Ahly didn't come here to play. They just came here for a point. They should have made their way into the goal post, I think. And then Sundowns, congratulations to them. A goal away and a draw in that hostile situation. It's not easy, and then that gives them a motivation to come back here and win the game. Kaizer Chiefs, we take the point. We take the loss and we move on, guys. And there's a narrative we want to fight or to fire the coach. No, that's not gonna happen, guys. We are Kaizer Chiefs. We know what we want. We are moving on very nicely. Even though they are loser, all the teams are loser. In Manchester United, Chelsea, you name them. Inter Milan, they've all gone through what we are going through. So it's not the first time in Kaizer Chiefs. So yeah, congratulations again to Mamelodi Sundowns ladies. I'm not gonna be long. Thanks for the minute, OT.
Thank you, Zavezi. Let me go to Spiwe. Please, ngiyekele Spiwe. Hey, i-transfer window ayisovula, ayikavuli i-transfer window.
Awaba OT. Ayikusazo izinto lapha e-studio. Ayikusazo izinto. No, OT bengisasigodini this Saturday, man. I think what that other gentleman mentioned in the safety lapana, it's something really to be taken serious. I didn't experience it this past weekend, but the other time there's just people that comes in and ambushes security lapana, so it really needs to be beefed up, because I can imagine for those who are coming in a family as well. I mean, there's guys who just come in with their entire family, so we would not want to see that. Hopefully this message find its way to management, because that's not really good. And I can tell you, Kaizer Chiefs, particularly FNB, I know the issue of safety is top priority. They do it days even earlier, in to the core. So I think that's the one thing I wanted to say. But Baba Oting, everyone again, ngibhakani elisha kulaba bangazi iwindow mayivula January ama-fans we-Chiefs bafethu ngazwakala sigrand singathatha ama-player kuphela.
Hey, hamba marafaki offer ngiyadala
i-offer ikhona.
Let me bring in Hansel. Welcome to the show. You've got a minute. Where are you sitting with this stuff?
Ntate Mokwena ke neng ke requesta
ke go bone mara ke re nako o ska tshwana le defense e fitlang late ko Orlando man.
O sharp mara
But ke bona atetse.
Okay, I wanted to first talk about the draws, ne?
Okay.
The draws are Mamelodi Sundowns. They are very different in a way. When Sundowns was playing home, drew 0-0. That's one point that is very important. When they were away, they drew 1-1, right? There's also that aspect that you must also look at. And if you check that Group B, Mamelodi Sundowns, it's open. There's no outright winner, so there's no reason to rule out Mamelodi Sundowns for now. They can still make it out of that group, so there's no danger. And then also the same with Pirates. I think the coach approached the match, Ongaro approach a cup final. That's what he does mostly.
he brings that element of surprise with his first lineup, and it seems like he doesn't want to concede a lot. He was defending with 5 because when Marco is up, Otto comes back. Sometimes when Van Rijn is up, you would see Otto moving in a little bit deep so that those defenders, the center backs, can move to the side here to cover for Dion, which is good. It's unfortunate for Kaizer Chiefs. I don't know, with the standards of people saying Chiefs does not have quality, I don't think at this point there's a player that will be quality enough for Kaizer Chiefs, according to the standards of people who are complaining about that. But all in all, that's my minute. Thank you, Mr. Mokwena.
Thank you, Hansel. Let me go to Sanele. Sanele, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Oti. How are you?
I'm good. You've got your minute. What do you want to speak about?
No, I just want when I was yesterday when we were talking about the coach here, Nabi, and also the other game where we were talking about Mangoba Mngqithi and stuff. So I was really thinking, I think here in our region in South Africa, we should really appreciate our South African coaches, because Mr. Oti, with that Casablanca, they didn't even think twice about taking Mr. Rulani Mokwena. Here in South Africa, we get so much time. Even Pitso Mosimane, all those guys. It shows here in our region. Even the Pirates, I'm so proud with how they played against because they're opening the door for us again. So can we really try to focus on our South African coaches and invest, because the guys in the north now, they are really watching, and it's interesting. Even so, can we trust? Because I'm telling you, Mr. Oti, I'm sorry for this, but I think Nabi will go sooner. I expect. Can we just invest in our local coaches? Because
who would you bring in?
Proven like Rulani. I'm not sure who to bring in, but let's just invest. It seems like they have an idea. Look at who coach Galanzi. Look at who coach Poland City. They understand the players. They understand the culture. So can we try? Can we try around those? That's all I wanted to say.
No, thank you, Sanele. Let me bring in Menpi. Menpi, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good evening, OT. Good evening, everybody more paneling.
Aye, Rahudumedis again. You've got a minute. Mplelore o batla bua kang Menpi.
Yeah, OT ke nyaka go bua ka Kaizer Chiefs.
Okay.
Kaizer Chiefs, it looks like they can even go to a relegation this season. OT, Pella whole loser, if you draw against the weakest teams. Royal AM, in a those external problems, Matata, and like they can't even sign players. Banale is one of the poor team where Oregon and Kaizer Chiefs. So they collected the results in Moyona, and then they managed to draw 2-2 against Polokwane City. Then they lost. They lost in such a way that you can see that it will be very difficult for Kaizer Chiefs to collect 3 points this season. Kaore, go collect 30 points against Royal AM. In a little problems it's so which team a lore get team waiting by low collector moyona super sports Galaxy or those other teams. It's gonna be very difficult. So I see a possible relegation for them this season. Le body language the players similar. It looks like satisfied. I don't know, maybe the way or maybe the coach demand more or I don't know, but it looks like there is a serious problem.
For nako Menpi ke tlokena Sanse re bue sente ya Chiefs man ke etse letsatsi mo re tlo buang Chiefs fela ka bana ka re dingata ditaba tsa Chiefs. Let me go to Ongama. You wanted to speak about Majimbos. What's happening with that?
Yeah, OTA. I was watching the boys from the first game of the CAF Champions League. I think they are finished in the group stages now. They will play semi-finals and also finals soon. So I've seen a slight progress into that team. They are doing very, very, very well as a team. There's a player that is, I don't know, it's Malerezi that is wearing number 6. It's one of the amazing player that I observed. It's a future player for the Bafana team, and also Emil Vitboy. It's one of the players that I observed that is growing. That will be something new. And also I can't forget the Kaizer Chiefs player, which is Neo Buhloko. They are one of the players that are promising. And also Sekhoda. There's a player that is called Sekhoda in that team. They are promising players that are coming for the future. I've seen a lot of them. It's worth it to watch them. It's a promising team. But I'm disappointed that I didn't speak about my team. I spoke about Sundowns and other things. But I'll see tomorrow if I can speak about Kaizer Chiefs. But yeah.
Okay.
About Amajimbo, I'm really impressed when I'm really impressed with what they are doing. It's amazing because I'm usually watching every football team when they are playing. Even the females COSAFA team, they are doing very well. Under 17, they are doing very well. They won 10-0 versus Mauritania. So it's one of the things that we see that the football of South Africa is improving.
And you're
That's
right.
what I wanted to add to OT.
And you're right. And we need to cover those more. I think I'll put aside some time this week so that we can speak about them since we don't necessarily have games during the week. Let me go to Utsele before I go to Spo. Tsele, are you with me? Hela, when you came on, hey, rutwa ditaba tse ding, man. O re file ditaba. Okay, it's fine. Let me go to Spo. Spo, there we go. Utsele is on. Oh.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. Be careful, man.
Okay, thank you very much, man. I apologize for that. Hey, I thought my network was just a mess.
No stress. You've got a minute, tell me.
Yeah, man. No, for me, I just want to comment about Orlando Pirates, no?
Okay.
For Orlando Pirates, I think that's the good result that we got over the weekend. I like the fact that Pirates was able to play without Tito Maswangani. And then I'm congratulating again Urele. He executed his role as a number 10 very nicely, even though he's not perfect well, but I could see him that he was able to, get into those pockets and just sit back and provide the passes for the other two guys in front of him. So I really think he did well there. And for Pirates going forward, I think we need to see more of a team coming and assisting there in the middle, because I think he did a good job even in a short space of time. So yeah, well done for Pirates. And then for Mamelodi Sundowns. Sundowns was very good. I'm not going to dwell much on it, but I saw the true identity of my Mamelodi Sundowns. They were not tatazeling, they were just playing their normal football, and then that was very impressive. And then for Kaizer Chiefs, I think for Kaizer Chiefs fans, please guys, don't be harsh on Coach Nabi, because I think the mistakes where the goals were considered for any team, that can happen, because it's just lapse of concentration and a diagonal pass, and these things, they happen in football. You understand? So for Nabi, please give him some chance, and especially give him some chance until the transfer window. See him how he is when coming to picking up his let's say a team of his choice, or players of his choice, and see from there, and then we can judge him. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chele. Let me go to sports. I've gone over Mara. Sport, tell me. I'm giving you a minute to 10.
Esikhathi asisekho, I think kumele usinikeze nje ilanga lonke le-Chiefs, Mr. Oti. So last time I said something about Miguel, left back here, Chiefs, Gross, Marty, Uchivaro, and then when I said those guys, they are not good for Chiefs, a lot of comment came in after my comment. They said Abantu Chiefs abalazi ball and nan. So my point is, we're conceding a lot of goals because of the guy who's supposed to be controlling our back, Miguel, it just look promising, but nonetheless, today my point is more on the indaba captain. Any team, Mr. OT, be successfully, the first player may be good is captain. You see, Manchester now, they're not doing good because they don't have a captain. Fernandes is just complaining and doing everything wrong. That's why they're not doing good in Manchester. You can bring any coach to Manchester. Until you get right players, Manchester, that's where he'll perform. That's the same thing with Chiefs. With Chiefs, the players we have, especially with captain and the senior players that's now, there's nothing we can do. You can bring any coach with Chiefs. There's nothing we can do. But the last part with Nabi, I don't think he's a clever coach. Yes, he's a coach. Like you remember, you used to have a Costa Papik coaches when they come to South Africa, they were promising, but he doesn't have that intelligent of a coach. Those are my point.
Okay, no, Spo. Thank you so much, Spo. We'll put aside some time for Kaizer Chiefs, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. Follow if you have not subscribed. Follow if you have not followed. I have a podcast that I'm doing now that has started. It's on YouTube, the George Mokwena podcast. So please head on over that side. Breaking news. I give you my opinions, all of that stuff. The show, normal show here, is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. So please, if you came in late or whatever, it's also available on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch after. So Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. Then, if Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Banyana, Bafana are playing, we are going to be here watching it live together. You know, guys know how the watch-alongs work. Very interactive show. I need you guys. You guys are the ones that give me the strength to do all of this stuff. There's also another thing, guys. Hey, Nyantuma today. 3-man press. It's a show with me, Lindo Pep, and Footballers Telefan. We've come together to create something on that side. So 3-man press on YouTube. Go on over that side. Please subscribe. Please watch. Please comment. Please tell us how you guys are feeling about all of those things. Then, guys, all I want to say, as I say all the time when I close the show, you guys are so important to us who are content creators. So, guys, you guys have the power. Supersport and all of those things are there, but you can share, you can like, you can do all of that stuff. Share us, Nati, man. We don't say crazy things. We're not out here being controversial or whatever. But if you guys like this content and like these things, share it, guys. Support, comment, like. It really does go a long way. If you see a brand thing, if I ever do a brand thing, hey, like, share, man. That's how we make money. Contribute. There's an account in my profile. So if you click the link in my profile, there's an account there where you guys can contribute and send some money that side. It really does help keep all of this running. It helps us keep on. If you know right now that my laptop is currently broken, I've made a different thing. So please, guys, support us and help us out when we go through these things. But more importantly, share the stuff, guys. Share the stuff so we can also be known and scouted and branded and all of those things so that we can grow this platform. There's not another platform where people get to come in and talk. We're not listening. I'm not a former player. I'm not Thomas. I'm not a former coach. I'm not any of those things. You're not trying to tell you guys what is right and what is wrong. We are coming together as fans of this football that we love and we're speaking to each other. So guys, support us, man. Support us. I try to drop a video every day. So either on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook. Support, guys. Support. Guys, it's been incredible. I'll see you guys then tomorrow at 7 p.m. Lindo is probably on right now. So at Lindo Pep is on with the TTB show. So feel free to jump on that side as well and support the fellow brother that side who's also doing some football stuff. We are all trying to push this football thing we love forward. And we need you guys as much as possible. Guys, I'll see you then tomorrow at 7 p.m. What a show. Hi, man.